Mulianga Yamba, Yakarak, Mungo, Takalijimri, Neto Makta, Wapalimba Jila, also known as Wayne of the Thorpe family. I'm of Bratulung, where the fire belongs to our country. That's within the Gunnai people's country. We speak on behalf of ourselves. Within our culture, we can't speak on behalf of anybody else. We can only speak on behalf of ourselves. So with any sort of scheme that's coming into this country to have the people that's come to this country vote for us to see if we can have a voice to speak about ourselves and our living conditions, well, that's the wrong thing to do. We don't need someone else to have a voice for us. We got our own voice. So to have a foreign people vote to say that we're going to give the First Peoples a voice is not the right thing to do. It's wrong. So within that, that's a scheme, that's a plan. That's not good for us. We got our own law and culture, same like every tribal group around this continent, got their own law and culture. And so we all speak on behalf of ourselves, and that's why we're uniting to stand strong for this land, and we stand together. So that's why three of us together standing to send a message out that we have our own voice. So because only our countrymen, our Raktang Gunnai, can speak on behalf of the Gunnai people. Bratulung, Krotangalung, Tatangalung, Brabiralung, that's the 5 clans, and Brayakalung, that's the 5 clans for the Gunnai people. So other clans, other tribes can't speak on behalf of us. That's been theirs in memorial. It's our ancestors' country. We descendants of our ancestors, so therefore we have bloodline to country. No one else can speak on our behalf. And we don't consent to anyone else speaking on our behalf. So we hold a lodial title to our country, bloodline back to country. I'll share some time for my brothers here. Can you go next to me? Explain their country and their situation.
No, you're the host, so we've got to go before you. No, yeah. I'd like to thank Uluki for bringing us down to these Aniuima. I say Aniuima in the tongue of the ancestors. Now, we're here now to bring this bloodline, families of the tribal back, of the old lady, old man. And with Bilby, us three, because we got that Bilby line. It runs through our blood. It runs through our Aniuima. We're here now to tell this mob from the Western world, or whoever needs to know, that please don't hate us because of what we hold. We hold it to give back to you people. It's called dignity and respect. But if you can't give us back, well, you know, we're going to have problems. But we want to end it now. We shouldn't have any problems anyway right now, you know. It's just better of going out and visiting your old people, your families, the bloodline mob, you know, the true Bilbys and the native cat. And the Bilby and native cat, you might think they're animals. No. It's far bigger than that. It's bigger than Ben-Hur. And that's why we're doing this thing now, because we want to balance it up. At the moment, you can even go to the courthouses today, they got the scales on the bottom. And they sit up here, we sit down here. Now balance it. Because we are the balance of this planet, the scale of this planet, to balance everything back up how it should have been. So, help us, stand with us, fight for our rights, for our life, our children's life. You know, we've got 2 generations of grannies here, and when we hit 3 generations, well, there's nothing for them. I'm not just talking about our pickaninnies, our children. We're talking about how our law sees it for all, not one. And thanks for having us. Anyway, I'm the Mudgala tribe. The Mudgala is Maratia Jungalaba Larakia. It's supposed to be Mudgala Ki, Raki, Eax, and he's the silent one now that's going to be speaking up in the millennium with his families and us all. And if any adoption should have happened, where you might now as the new Australian should have been adopted from the old people, us. We adopt you into this APY our land, our country. And that Maratia Jungalaba, that's very big. That's like Mount Warning. You people like going on tourist thing, you just want to learn something real, go to Mount Warning. You see an old lady, figure of an old lady and her unborn baby and her husband lying up the other end. In between them is a croc skull. That's where we're speaking from. Ma.
Thank you, Uncle. And I am Bilby Uluki, the Yarra Yarra clan of the Wawarang tribe. That's the greater tribe of most of the Melbourne region coming up into the Yarra Valley. Now, coming to the voice, I don't think anyone needs to vote on anyone's behalf to have a voice. Even the new Australians shouldn't have that put upon them. Let alone the oldest people on earth, to which all your genetics come from us. All your families of the earth, us. All the laws of the earth, us.
Your land, us.
Us. And you can't vote for that. Especially, you can't let a foreign entity control their narrative and feel that they're the only ones who can give you that voice. Because you own your voice. It's already yours to speak. Don't give your voice away. Don't give it to a foreign entity called the government. So, and like I said yesterday too, that there's a lot of new Australians who feel they don't have a voice. But we can help with that too. We can help all people here have a voice. But it's got to come under the correct law and the correct timing and all things correct. Now, we're not going to go back and tell everyone to come out and get scarred up to go through initiation and get speared for playing up. But there's still laws from that way that's still here now that serves everybody. And so, vote maybe, I don't know, because don't go yes or no, because your vote, it doesn't count. Even your normal elections, your votes do not count
is that everyone's been fooled and tricked. And if you want to know how that works, reach out to us and we'll tell you how that works. So, for all the people out there watching, you are your own voice. And what we're doing is to make sure that all the countries on the continent, this big island, has the right and the freedom to voice their own opinions in their own country and have that protected and autonomous. It cannot be voted for or against, and cannot be gazetted, revoked. Anything, any terms that these controlling bodies use, because they don't matter to us anymore. The words don't matter to us anymore. What matters is you out there. So we look forward to having you come in
And your children.
into this.
And your children.
And so because we still maintaining the laws of the land, we don't need to be under someone else's law in their constitution. We have our own constitutions, our own governance, our own systems to abide by the laws of law. So we invite people to come in with ours and under our law of laws. So we don't need to be under a stranger's constitution. We don't need that. In fact, if they had to come in through the front door, we would have had it worked out so then people respect the law of the land, and therefore they're within our awareness of looking after country. You see? So at the moment, it's the wrong way around, so we need to flip it back. And so we need to reclaim our country. Native title didn't do it, that was a trickery. And so we need to claim back our country by uniting all our tribes and saying to these governments that want a constitution in their way, well, that's not going to work. That's another scheme and another plan, and we're not playing that game.
And it's from another country.
And so we're staying out of it.
And no corporation anywhere on the planet has lawful right to enter a treaty. They're a dead entity. Only the living can have treaty. Only the living can have a pactum and an accord with each other.
That's right.
The dead world is dead.
Yeah.
So
Where's
people
your
left
respect for them?
people left their
living.
countries to come to this continent. Now, did you come to be a dead entity and a slave to the system? Well, with us, you can be a living being again.
Yeah.